Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Yasser Ahmed. So we will continue looking at JavaScript, and in this tutorial we're going to be looking at adding some buttons and again working with some functions. So what I need to do first of all is we're going to be using some pictures in this task. So what I'm going to do is copy and paste a couple of pictures from here. So the apple and the orange, which I've used in the previous task. We're in part 2 now, looking at functions. And I'm just going to create a new folder to put everything into. So part 3 we're on now. And paste. Okay. And then the next thing I need to do is I need to save this into the same folder as my pictures as well. So yeah, update the links. Right. Let me just get rid of this one here. I don't need it from before. And let me zoom in a little bit more. For the title, I'm just going to put fruits. Okay. So in the body section, what we want to do is we want to display a picture of a particular fruit. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is type in here img for the picture tag. Oops, img. And then we're going to close the bracket. Okay, and then inside of here, what we want to do is give this an identifier because we want to change the fruit depending on what we click on. So I'm going to just call this ID fruit, and then we'll have two different fruits, apple or the orange. I forgot to put this in speech marks. Okay, and the image source src equals. What we can do is we can start with the apple picture, which is in our source folder. So if I click on save and go to my browser, let's first check if this is visible. Yep, it is visible. What if you want to set a specific size for your picture? You can do as well. So what we're going to do now is just set the specific size to the picture. Okay. So let's say if I type in here width equals 100 pixels, and the height also is going to be 100 as well. Let's see if that makes any change. So save and go to the browser again. So that's the new picture, and you can see that's the old picture. I think it's changed. Let me just make it really small so it's really obvious. So 10 by 10, probably not going to be able to see it now, but let's just see if that's made the difference before we move on to the next part. Yeah, you can see now it's really small. And that's already updated as well. Right, we'll put it back to what it was, 100 pixels by 100 pixels. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to have a space underneath this picture, and then we're going to have the buttons. So I'm just going to create a paragraph tag with nothing inside of it, just to generate that space. And now what we're going to do is to create our button. So what we need to type in here first of all is button. Okay, and I'm just going to close this tag. Okay, and in the middle here, you can write the name of your button. So this one is going to be for the apple. And if I copy and paste this, this one is going to be now for the orange. So let's see what this is going to look like. So we've got two buttons. Nothing's happening yet when I click these buttons, but hopefully something will when we get to the functions. Right, I'm going to leave that. And what I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to add an identifier for these buttons. Okay. So if I click here, I don't think this is necessary, the identifier. Let's just leave that for now. Right, what I'm going to do is now start the script part, because what we want to do is when we click on a button, a particular picture will appear, and we're going to be linking to a function. So the button is going to be used to call upon a particular function. So this is now the JavaScript part. Okay, and function. And what I'm going to do is call this function apple. clicked, or Apple button clicked. Okay, you don't need to write the function name as long as I have, but I'm just making it obvious what I'm doing. So when we click this function, then what we're going to do, so let's open up the curly brackets. We want to change this ID to something else, okay? So we're going to do document get element by ID. We want to refer to this image tag, so we can type in fruit dot src, and we want to change the picture source. Okay, and it's going to be apple.jpg. I know already the picture is the apple JPEG, but what is going to happen is when we change to the other fruit, the orange, then if we click on the button, it's going to return us back to the apple. So you'll see that in a second. Okay, it's not going to work yet because there's still a few more things to do. Let's create the second function for the other fruit. The second one we can call when orange button is clicked. And now I want to change this source to orange instead. .jpg. Okay. Okay. So right now the buttons are not going to work because we need to create the event. So what we can do inside of here now is click on click. Okay. Then we need to write the name of the function and the brackets as well, just in case we have any variables being passed through. Okay. So when we click on the Apple button, we're going to run this function here, and it's going to change the src, the picture source, to this picture here. But when we click on the orange picture, it's going to change to this picture. So let me copy and paste, or let's just do it again. So on click, get the name of this function, including the brackets. Okay, and let's see if this is working. So we've got the Apple pictures, the default. If I click on orange, it changes. And then if I want to click back on or return this back to the Apple, we can click on this button and it's going to run the function to show this picture here. So we've got both pictures being displayed depending on which button we click on. Right, guys, so I think that was fairly straightforward. So let me just go back to here. So we have two functions, just to recap. One that will display the apple, and the second one which will display the orange. For each button, we've created an event. So when you click on the button, we're going to refer to this function here. Okay, so on click, we want to run or call this function. Okay, if you click on this button, we want to obviously call this function here. So let me zoom out so you can see all of this code. I hope that makes sense. And please join me in the next video, guys. We're going to be going into a little bit more detail with the functions again. Okay, so I think we're going to be looking at mouse over events as well, mouse out and mouse over. So it's going to give like a rollover effect. Right, thank you for your time. Drop your comments below, like and share, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.